Shalom. Let's give all praises, fear, glory, and honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash. Shalom, true brothers and sisters, warriors, 144,000. And this is Numbers chapter 22. It's titled The March of Israel, Victory. Chapter 21 says, And when King Arad and the Canaanite, which dwelt in the south, heard tell that Israel came by the way of spies, then he fought against Israel and took some of them prisoners. And Israel vowed a vow unto the Lord, and said, If thou wilt indeed deliver this people into my hand, then I will utterly destroy their cities. And the Lord hearkened to the voice of Israel, and delivered up the Canaanites, and they utterly destroyed them and their cities. And he called the name of the place Hormah. And they journeyed from Mount Hor by the way of Red Sea to compass the land of Edom. And the soul of the people was much discouraged because of the way. See, that's heavy, man. A lot of people, they get discouraged because of the struggle and the way, how narrow the path is. They get discouraged and they stop. But the Lord told us to have faith and trust in Him and just keep going, man. Numbers 21 verse 5. And the people spoke against power, Mashiach, and against Moses. Wherefore have ye brought us up out of Egypt to die in the wilderness? For there is no bread, neither is there any water, and our soul loatheth this light bread. So our people, they're weak, man. They can't endure. They're whiny. They're weak because the world made them weak. Verse 7. Therefore the people came to Moses and said, We have sinned, for we have spoken against the Lord and against thee. Pray unto the Lord that he take away the serpents from us. And Moses prepared for the people. The Lord said unto Moses, Make thee a fiery serpent. Make thee a fiery serpent, and set it upon a pole. And it shall come to pass that every one that is bitten, when he looketh upon it, shall live. Moses made a serpent of brass and put it upon a pole, and it came to pass that if a serpent had bitten any man, when he behold the serpent of brass, he lived. And the children of Israel set forward the pitched in Abdoth, and they journeyed from Abdoth and pitched at Gibeaim in the wilderness which is before Moab, toward the sunrising. From thence they removed and pitched in the valley of Zerad. From thence they removed and pitched on the other side of Arnon, which is in the wilderness of Salakia, which is in the wilderness that cometh out of the coast of the Amorites. For Arnon is the border of Moab, between Moab and the Amorites. Wherefore it is said in the book of the wars. Wherefore it is said in the book of the wars of the Lord, what he did in the Red Sea and in the brooks of Arnon. So the scriptures is not just any ordinary story, man. It's a spiritual story that is a weapon. The Lord gave us this, man. Again, it says, it's heavy. It says, wherefore it is said in the book of the wars of the Lord. You see, the Lord has wars against this place, man. Several wars. Numbers 21:15. And as the stream of brooks that goeth down to the dwelling of Ar, and lieth upon the border of Moab. And from thence they went to Beer, that is the well whereof the Lord spoke unto Moses. Gather the people together, and I will give them water. The Lord is gathering his people, man. And it's heavy how we're living in a time where it's like right now, even the weather is crazy, man. Everything's shaky. Everything's confusing. Nothing is stable. The only thing that's stable is Yahweh Shemashai, our rock. Verse 21 says, and Israel sent messengers unto Sihon, king of Amorites, saying, let me pass through thy land. We will not turn into the fields or into the vineyards. We will not drink of the waters of the well, but we will go along by the king's highway. Woo! Heavy. Let me get that again. Numbers 21:22. Let me pass through thy land. We will not turn into the fields or into the vineyards. We will not drink of the waters of the well, but we will go along by the king's highway until we be past thy borders. We're in a journey, man. We're like pilgrims, we're keeping it moving. And what we're not doing is we're not being conformed to the world. We're not being comfortable. Fuck all that, man. Wasting your time if you're doing that. So with that, let me give me the last precept in Ecclesiasticus chapter 6, verse 1. Instead of a friend, become not an enemy, for thereby thou shalt inherit an ill name, shame and reproach. Even shall a sinner that hath a double tongue. Extol not thyself in the counsel of thine own heart, that thy soul be not torn in pieces as a bull. Heavy. Let's see if this is the one I wanted. Okay, this is another one. Ecclesiasticus chapter 11 says, verse 1, wisdom lifteth up the head of him that is of low degree, and maketh him to sit among the great. Command not a man for his beauty, neither abhor a man for his outward appearance. The bee is little among such as fly, but their fruit is the chief of sweet things. And boast not of thy clothing and remnant, and exalt not thyself in the day of honor. For the works of the Lord are wonderful, and his works among men are hidden. Guys don't really know the Lord. It's hidden, man. All this information the Lord is giving us openly, and we sharpen each other with that. These guys will never receive that because they're not part of Yahushai. So with that, let's give all praises, fear, and glory, and honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yashai, Ba'ashim Kakorash, Brakatam, Shalom. Pray for a few days, pray for one another, pray for all of us. Shalom.